In a genre saturated with glorified fantasy worlds and handsome self-insert protagonists, Isekai Oji-san is here to crush your dreams and make you feel the cruel reality of an isekai world, the cold, dark truth of witch hunts, executions, and elf waifus. Yusuke Shibazaki, otherwise known as just Uncle in the series, was struck by a truck at the tender age of 17 and sent to the fantasy world of Grand Bacchanal, a world of sword and sorcery where there are gods and dragons, and just about every single person is incredibly attractive. And now you might be saying, hang on a minute, I've seen this one before. And yes, probably, but well, to put it lightly, Uncle is pretty ugly, even by Earth standards. So in a world of supermodels, the first people he meets think he's some kind of mutated orc, and so he's beaten and taken to be sold to a freak show for a couple of pennies. Forgotten by the owner in a cell, Uncle starves until he awakens the power of the spirits, the power given to him by God, or at least some kind of godly power vending machine. He uses these powers to break free from his restraints and search for a way to return to his world. And you might still be saying, hang on a minute, this is still super generic. And again, yeah, kind of. But Isekai Jisan takes the next logical step. What do you do to subjectively improve content easily? Yeah, that's right. You stick somebody else on watching it along with you. Now you're not alone in your room watching anime with no friends. You're with Takafumi and the gang alone in your room with no friends. So a bit more backstory. Basically, the story in reality follows Uncle as he wakes up from his coma after returning from Grand Bacchanal, finding a family torn apart by disputes over taking care of him for 17 years, and him moving in with the only person who'll take him in, his nephew, Takafumi Takaoka. Luckily enough, he keeps his powers, and so he does what any responsible, incredibly powerful hero does, and he makes magic videos on YouTube to get some of that sweet, sweet ad revenue. And together with Takafumi's childhood friend, a girl who possibly has the largest glow up imaginable, they watch Uncle's experiences in the isekai world, primarily as he fumbles the bag with every single girl he meets, as he looks at every situation from the perspective of a serial gamer with social issues, while remaining blissfully ignorant of anime tropes like tsunderes and the like, being from a time before their popularity. And yes, he is 17 here, even if he looks like this at 34. I can promise he's 17 in the flashbacks. Speaking of tropes and tsunderes, let's get on to the best girl of the whole show. Elf, as she was referred to, is an originally named elfish princess, saved by Uncle. She was unable to express her emotions for him as anything but mean comments about his appearance and how much he sucked. And Uncle, in all of his infinite wisdom, doesn't see through this after 3 fucking years of knowing her, as she continually follows him around and makes moves on him. He makes a high school rom-com protagonist look like a love guru. But thankfully, through the power of plot and a lot of incredibly strange and frankly creepy actions, if you didn't like him, Uncle gets the bag, and even some hanky-panky, so to speak. Although, just don't think too hard about how he was unconscious at the time. So at this point, it's already well established that Uncle is a genius socialite with a keen gamer instinct, and so he decides that in order to repay the elf for all the help she's provided him, including saving his life multiple times, he'll give her a ring, one of the 7 cosmolite rings in all of existence. Pretty romantic, huh? No, he gives it to her and then he takes it back immediately and sells it. He pulls a true U-turn and then gives a second cosmolite ring to another girl, the second heroine, whose life is just ruined by turning her into a lazy shut-in with no motivation to change. Whoop for gamer pep talks. I'm not even going to go into how he decides to try and escape the isekai world, because that would be spoiler territory, or how Takafumi gains the power to turn into a velociraptor. And no, I'm not kidding, that's an actual thing. There's even a romance springing up between Takafumi and Fujimiya, which I don't know how that works, because although she's incredibly attractive, she seems to be part shark or something. I mean, how would getting head work? It'd be putting your dick in a blender. Anyway, regardless of how much I've clowned on the show for a while, I'm saying this because I actually loved it. I've been reading this for quite a while, even keeping up with it for a year or two, and the announcement and subsequent release of this anime were great for me. I tried not to put any spoilers in this, but there are some really good twists with the third heroine and all of that, but I had to try and keep it in. Anyway, I appreciate any likes and subscriptions and comments, feedback and all that. Bye.